Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Just kind of walking around in shock that it actually happened.
Right now, police are trying to find out who shot and killed a 23-year-old man outside his home. Good evening. I'm Emily Thode in for Vanessa Van Hefty. So it happened last night in San Carlos just before 11. 10 News reporter Amanda Brandeis spoke to people who knew the victim.
The shooting happened across the street from where we are right now, but the family has asked for privacy, so we're respecting their wishes. We've talked to several neighbors who heard the gunshots. One woman says a bullet went through her garage. We're told this is a quiet neighborhood. Nothing like this happens here. And there's a church on the corner, which we're told the young victim was a part of. It was the worst news Roy Herringer could have gotten when he came into work this morning.
This fellow was the most polite, the most precious and pleasant individual to ever be around.
He says the 23-year-old man killed used to be a part of the youth group and still helped out when he could.
We're having a huge rummage sale in 2 weeks, and he would come and help unload the bin and load things into our parish house.
Herringer heard the news from the man's family. His own brother drove him to the hospital where he died.
Just removes the breath from your body. To learn that a sibling, you know, a brother, a sister, you know, whoever it might be, to lose someone so tragically is not something that anyone ever expects to happen.
Herringer knows because it happened to him.
Every day I think about at 3 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call from my mother that my brother had been shot and killed.
Over a decade later, he says the pain never goes away. For this family, it's just started.
We'll pray for the family. The church will reach out to those folks who can bring closure to this event.
In San Carlos, Amanda Brandeis, 10 News.
An update to breaking news we've been following since this morning. 3 Marines missing after an Osprey crash near Australia. The Osprey was launching off the U.S. Bonham. When the crash happened, that ship used to be home ported right here at the naval base in San Diego. The helicopter was doing regularly scheduled operations when it crashed into the water off the coast of Australia. 26 Marines were on board. 23 of them were rescued safely, but there's 3 missing. The Marines are from the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force. They're based out of Okinawa. Search and rescue efforts are underway with the ship's small boats and aircraft. The video you're looking at from the USS Bonham's final deployment out of San Diego. It's now stationed in Nagasaki. This isn't the first time an Osprey is involved in an accident. Back in 2015, you might remember this, a crash in Hawaii killed Lance Corporal Josh Barron. A 2nd Marine died from injuries from the crash a few days later. Both were stationed at Camp Pendleton. The cause of this latest crash, it's still under investigation. The White House briefed President Trump of the accident. And 10 News will stay on top of this developing situation. We're going to bring you the latest updates on our newscast and on the 10 News mobile app. A man is dead after he was thrown off his motorcycle on the 15 freeway. It happened this morning in Palo Mesa just before 6. The CHP says a car was changing lanes when it hit the motorcyclist. Police don't think anyone was on drugs or alcohol. The motorcyclist died at the scene. We do know he was 50 years old from Temecula. The person driving the car wasn't hurt. And new video, smoke and flames coming from this home in Vista. Now the San Diego County Sheriff's Bomb Arson Unit is investigating. The house caught fire on Sunrise Drive just before 9 o'clock this morning. Crews put the flames out in about 15 minutes. One person was airlifted to a local trauma center, but that person's injuries, we're told, are not related to the fire. More than 24 firefighters from Vista, Carlsbad, and Oceanside came to fight that fire. Turning to weather now, taking a live look outside. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz is here. Not as muggy, Jennifer, but still warm.
Yeah, it's still very warm, but pretty much right on track with where we should be for the beginning of August. But fortunately, that humidity has started to die down. Our temperatures won't be changing too much as we head into next weekend. Taking live outside right now in Coronado, plenty of people out there on the beach. We do have some low clouds. They will continue to build as we head into the evening hours. Your current temperature right now is 73 degrees in San Diego, 71 in La Jolla, 82 for you in El Cajon, and 84 in Poway. We are actually much cooler than where we were at this time yesterday. Our humidity also not so bad, 71% in San Diego, 77% in La Jolla. As we move further inland, those percentages go down to just 48% in Escondido, 45% in Poway. So certainly starting to feel more comfortable around the county. Much cooler than where we were yesterday. Our temperatures won't be changing too much until we start to warm up into next weekend. I'm tracking that for you coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. And right now, sheriff deputies are trying to track down a convicted sex offender. Rainier Raroque is wanted for failing to register as a sex offender. That's a picture of him right there. He has a previous conviction for sexual battery, and deputies say he hangs out in the Lemon Grove and La Mesa areas. There's a $1,000 reward for information that leads to his arrest. And take a look. This convict also on the loose. Corrections officers say Quincy Crawford walked away from a re-entry program. He ditched his GPS monitor Thursday. The GPS, it was found near a fast food restaurant in North Park. Crawford was in his second year of a 6-year sentence for burglary and pimping. He was assigned to the re-entry facility to take college classes. President Donald Trump is enjoying his first full day off his vacation. However, ABC's David Wright tells us the Russia investigation is following him to the golf course at his resort in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Day one of the president's 17-day working vacation at his luxury golf resort in New Jersey. But the special counsel investigating Russian meddling is apparently not taking a break. The New York Times reports that the special counsel's investigators have requested documents from the White House related to former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and questioned whether the Turkish government secretly paid Flynn for lobbying work. Flynn is also under investigation for his dealings with Russians on behalf of the Trump campaign. One of the Russian officials Flynn met with, former Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, defended Flynn on a Russian TV panel Saturday, saying his talks with Flynn were transparent, focused on U.S.-Russia relations, and that the two never discussed punitive U.S. sanctions. While the president is away, construction workers have started a $3.5 million renovation at the West Wing. The Oval Office among the rooms being refurbished, the walls now bare, the historic Resolute desk removed so that the floor can be refinished. The building's nearly 30-year-old heating and air conditioning system is also being replaced. White House officials say it made sense for the president to decamp for what's being called a working vacation. Over the years, Trump denigrated his predecessor, Barack Obama, for taking too much time off.
I mean, he plays more golf than people on the PGA Tour.
This is Trump's first full vacation, but he's already made 12 trips to his own resorts, including 7 to Mar-a-Lago in Florida and 5 to his golf course here in New Jersey. David Wright, ABC News, Bedminster.
A Modesto woman missing for almost 3 weeks is found alive after hiding from search teams and surviving by, get this, eating insects. Jamie Toll was found severely sunburned in the middle of a 7,400-acre ranch in Merced County. No shade anywhere nearby. She'd been missing for 17 days. She told rescuers she wanted to get to Yosemite. She's a kindergarten teacher. Her family says she suffers from bipolar disorder and had been off her medication for the last 6 months. Apparently, a pastor convinced her the drugs were a gateway to the devil. A manhunt is underway after a robbery turned deadly at a Florida beach resort. Security footage shows a man walking into the Zota Beach Resort early this morning. When Longboat Key police arrived, they found 2 people dead, security guard Kevin Carter and the front desk clerk Timothy Hurley. Guests had to leave and stay at a nearby hotel. Tourists and people living on the island are shocked.
It's unreal. It's unheard of for this island. I think this is one of the most secure cities in America.
It's crazy. It's like the last place you'd expect it. We woke up and found that we were kind of blocked into the building and we couldn't get out to the lobby or go for breakfast.
This is the first murder on the island in 15 years. A developing story, 2 men wanted for murder are behind bars, both surrendering to police right here in California. Wyndham Latham, a professor at Northwestern University, surrendered in Oakland last night. Andrew Warren, a University of Oxford employee, he gave himself up at a San Francisco police station Friday night. Both men are accused of stabbing Trenton Cornell Duran Lau to death in Chicago 9 days ago. Latham sent a video apologizing to his family and friends for the murder.
I had him give a talk to some students about his research, and he just seemed like a perfectly normal guy.
Investigators think Professor Latham and the victim had a relationship. The two suspects will be extradited back to Illinois, where they will face first-degree murder charges. The FBI is investigating an explosion at a mosque in Minnesota. Police say a, quote, destructive device went off inside an Islamic center in Bloomington. It happened during morning prayers about 5 this morning. About a dozen people were inside, but no one was hurt. Witnesses say they ran outside after the blast and they saw a car driving away. They think someone threw something through the window. It's unclear right now if this was a hate crime. And new information, you may remember this dramatic video out of Florida, a sinkhole swallowing a home and a boat. Now, cleanup on the sinkhole is being delayed because the hole is getting bigger. Emergency officials say an 80-foot-long section of the sinkhole collapsed. Land caved in right under the homes they were tearing down. So obviously it forced them to stop everything and move their equipment back. 2 more homes have been condemned. And it's a danger you might not consider, hitting California firefighters hard. The painful problem plaguing crews battling the biggest fires in the state. And a major recall for 2 popular vehicles. Dangerous issue that can cause drivers to lose control out of nowhere.
Warm and comfortable around the county. I'm tracking how long our mild weather will last coming up in your 7-day forecast.